What's up, fam? Extraordinary Life with Elijah. And today, my girls are my extra and I am the ordinary. So in raising both of my girls, I've been learning this parenting tip. I did it with Azriela and it worked, but one test run, that could just be an anomaly. It's not a principle until it's proven to work over and over and over. Been using it with Kailani though too, and it's working like a charm. My third born's on the way here May 2nd. We'll see if it works with him too. But what I've been doing is whenever my girls have a hard time eating their food, they've got something that they don't want to eat, or they're getting towards the end of the meal and they're starting to poke around. And as a parent, I'm giving them direction. Please eat your food, finish up. And they're just poking around. They still have lots of room to be able to eat, but they're either disinterested in the food, they don't like it, or they're just not focused. Rather than just telling my kids, eat your food, eat your food, eat your food, and just keep harping on them, I've found that if I will choose to come over and to commune with them and allow my kids to start feeding me, to physically pick up the food that I'm asking them to eat and feed it to me, that then when I go to feed them, that they just start receiving the food. Today at lunch, Kailani was getting to the end of her meal and I was asking to finish up her pretzel sticks and her cranberries, and she's just starting to get goofy and silly. I think she was starting to get tired. So I rolled over to her and I started having her feed me and I started feeding her, and boom, right away. Oh, shoot. I spit on my lens. Hopefully that doesn't show up too much. I think we're good. I rolled over to her and started helping her to eat her food back and forth like a charm. She would feed me a cranberry, I'd feed her a cranberry. I'd ask her to feed me a little pretzel and then she'd be like, psych, Dad, that pretzel is mine. But out of that, it led to just this awesome reflection about the person of Jesus. Today is Easter Sunday, the day when we celebrate the resurrection of Jesus from the dead. I was really looking forward to Sunday today because my wife and I, our family, stepped out of the fellowship that we were attending for 4 or 5 years on December 29th of last year. From then until now, we've just been meeting in our house every Sunday. And my wife and I had decided a long time back that we were gonna break our fast, our time apart, to devote ourselves to prayer and re-engage the congregation at large on Easter Sunday. Both of us were really looking forward to getting back into community and fellowshipping with all the saints, especially around the resurrection of Jesus, celebrating the resurrected Christ, that Jesus rose from the dead, triumphing over death, and that he has defeated all of his enemies, placed at the right hand of the Father and given the name that is above every other name. Oh, come on, Jesus. He's the best. And to be able to be with God's people again, to break our fast, our time apart, devoting ourselves to prayer, and to come back into intimate relationship with the body of Christ and then not be able to, was pretty disappointing. But as I engaged my little girl in just communing with her and helping her eat a meal that she wasn't really all that excited to eat, but to finish it, to eat the full meal and not turn aside from it, that's when I started breaking into the person of Jesus. If you think about how Jesus came into the earth, Mary and Joseph went to Bethlehem not because they wanted to go there to have the baby. That was the worst idea ever. A woman full term traveling over hundreds of miles on foot is not a great idea. That was not Mary's first choice. They went to Bethlehem because of Roman occupation. Having Jesus in the isolation of Bethlehem reminded them of the oppression of the Romans and that they were suffering in a situation that they didn't want to be in. God was working through their location though, and having Jesus born in Bethlehem, not in Nazareth. And so while Mary and Joseph were in a situation that they didn't want to be in, that it reminded them of their difficult circumstances, everything that was surrounding them that was oppressive and difficult and disorienting, God was using it to fulfill his heart for his people and the revelation of Jesus. Likewise, just before Jesus went to the cross, that he spent time in the Garden of Gethsemane and he told his Father over and over, I don't want to engage this cup. Let this cup pass from me. I do not want to drink this cup. No, I don't want it. But eventually said, yes, I will partake of this cup. I was so encouraged by this, thinking about how my little girls engage the provision that I'm giving them when I choose to commune with them, when I choose to allow them to feed it to me, that I demonstrate that grace, that gentleness to receive what I'm asking them to eat. And that out of that graceful response of allowing them to serve me that way, that then they allow me to serve them and feed them that provision as well. I think it's so encouraging that Jesus has asked us to take up our cross and to follow after him. But he didn't just say, pick up your cross, carry it, and taste death. Jesus faced death for us. He received it into himself. He engaged what he was asking us to do first on our behalf. He took the reward. It was to be our reward of death, the wages of our sin, but Jesus tasted death on our behalf. A response of grace, it's incomprehensible grace, but that in us, seeing the response of Jesus to taste death for us, that then when he extends the cup towards us, an invitation to covenant with him, and says, pick up your cross and follow after me, that it imparts grace to us to be able to obey the command that he gives us that we otherwise would not have been able to obey 5 seconds before the demonstration of his authority over death. All of this rounded up together, fam. I pray blessings on this season of time together, that as we celebrated this season of Easter together in the isolation of our homes, that this is not something that we wanted to be doing. Definitely something that I didn't want to be doing. I was really looking forward to breaking this fast and being back in fellowship with other believers. Having to spend another Sunday at home has just been a harsh reminder of the continued oppression of the situation that's surrounding us in the world today. But I would encourage you that out of the testimony of Jesus' coming to earth, out of the testimony of our forefathers of faith that have gone before us, that even though they were in circumstances that were being driven by an oppressive presence in their lives that was forcing them to do things that were very inconvenient, not comfortable, very disorienting, that God was working in the midst of it to see the fulfillment of his perfect plans completed. So while this is a very difficult season, contemplating the life of Jesus, his coming in birth, and then his death and tasting death on my behalf, empowers freedom in me to engage this season with joy, to receive whatever my Father has to give me. I hope this is an encouragement for you guys. If you subscribe to what I'm doing, hit the button, hit it, and then get it. Hit the bell as well so you get notified with the new content. And if you love this video, you didn't just like it, then hit the thumbs down button. Fun thing, when my little girl watches these videos now, she's started to understand what I'm asking people to do. And so she looks at me and she goes, "Dad, I love your video." It's working. Family is starting to catch on. Blessings on your days, guys. I love you lots, and I'll see you in the next video.